The Farm Bill has failed in the House. This is the Farm Bill, the Agriculture and Nutrition Act of 2018 that we've been tracking as it's tried to work its way through the legislature this year. It's the bill that reauthorizes farm programs and directs the nation's agriculture policy for approximately 5 years. It's been a no-brainer over the history of the United States legislature. We're talking about a lot of money. We're talking over $800 billion. And it's been a bipartisan effort almost every time that it's been reauthorized, except, of course, for this year. We're going to talk about where the Farm Bill stands, and why it's been a little bit more contentious. It's usually been a bill based on compromise. It's gone through committee in the past, the Ag Committee in the House. It then is supposed to move to the House. The House then, if it approves it, goes on to the Senate, and then, of course, on to the President for signature. Well, it did make it out of the Ag Committee in the House along a party line vote, and that was back in April. It then went to the House itself, and that's where the wheels came off the bus. On May 18th, that was a vote that failed. The Farm Bill did not get out of the U.S. House of Representatives, and there has been nothing since, as one of the House Ag Committee members is reported as saying, "We've had no meetings, we've gotten no calls, we've gotten no letters, no progress on the Farm Bill." Now, what's going on right now? Why all of this stalemate? Well, 3 issues. First of all, for the first time, there is huge debate over the way that food share or food stamps or the SNAP program, all the same thing, is being described in this Farm Bill. So the Farm Bill has traditionally included food assistance for low-income individuals. This time, there are very strict work requirements attached. It's an era of putting work requirements in Medicaid programs, public benefits programs across the board, and in food programs, and the Farm Bill wants to put very strict work requirements on the food share program, and that has a lot of the legislative members on both sides of the aisle not too happy. It also authorizes up to $65 million for association health plans. Now, if finalized, the association health plans rules would make it easier for groups of very small businesses to clump together into an association, buy an insurance plan that looks like a group plan, and thereby exempt themselves from the consumer protections afforded under the Affordable Care Act. Now, the third contentious point, and the point that actually derailed the Farm Bill in the House of Representatives, is the immigration debate. A little bit more of the moderate conservative Republicans from states like California want a DACA fix. The conservative Freedom Caucus wants no immigration included in the Farm Bill. They want very strict limits on legal and illegal immigration, and that came to a head before the Farm Bill went before the House of Representatives. They could not reconcile that. When it came to a vote, that could not get passed. Now, the House Speaker, Paul Ryan, has also indicated he doesn't want to talk about immigration until he stepped aside and handed the House chairmanship over to somebody else. He knows that the president would probably not sign one of the DACA fixes that a lot of the more moderate Republicans have in mind. Now, looking at the Farm Bill as it stands, with these very strict work requirements in the food share program, with the association health plan language, and with some of the immigration language that it's got included, this Farm Bill has been called bureaucratic, it's being called partisan, costly, and certainly unworkable. Some people have called putting these work requirements and other very strict restrictions on the very low-income individuals a wealth transfer, an upward redistribution of income that's regressive and wrong, derailed, as we said in the House, over that issue of very contentious right now, immigration. So what's now? We could see another attempt in the House. Could happen. But as we said, there's been no letters, no phone calls, no progress. It could still resurrect itself in the House. This Farm Bill, many people in its current state with these 3 glaring errors in it, is something that many people are saying would have never made it out of the Senate anyway. A little bit more moderate Senate needs 60 votes to pass a bill like this, and they're not going to get that with this very strict language in it. So this particular bill would have probably never made it through. So the House might still have time to do something. The Senate said in the meantime, hey, we're just going to write a bill of our own. We need bipartisan support to pass it, and we're coming up against some deadlines. The current Farm Bill expires September 30th. Well, the Senate right now and the House, they're on their Memorial Day recess. When they reconvene, they're going to have to start getting their act together and see what they can put together that could make it through the House on those very partisan lines and make it into the Senate, which has to have a much more bipartisan approach, and get all of that resolved to the president and signed before the end of September. Now, there are so many words going around, as you can imagine. We share a couple articles with you at the end of this presentation. And in one of them, you're going to see the quote that the Congress is so polarized right now as to be ineffective. There are very low hopes for what could happen over the next couple months. Morale is pretty low due to the very extreme partisan nature of what's going on in our Congress right now. You can read some of this for yourself and decide. Read the House Farm Bill as it stood with that language in there that was very troublesome. The House revolt over immigration just killed the Farm Bill. It's an article put out by Vox that would give you really good context for what went down on that May 18th vote. And then another article coming to you out of the Star Tribune that says stalled Farm Bill falls victim to extreme partisanship. And that's where you're going to see a couple more of those very colorful quotes coming out of some of the committee members. You can also send us your questions, send us an email, and you can do all of that at healthwatchwisconsin.org. Thanks for watching.